All right, folks, this is Harris Sultan. Today I'm going to show you just a week in the West that would make even the most stubborn diversity is our strength mob pause. If you still think that all cultures are equal and you think that it's just the right wing that is racist, then stay with me until the end. What I'm about to show you is not from 2015 or 2018. Every single story that I'm about to cover is from the past 7 days alone. And there's so many of them that I genuinely think I won't be able to cover all of them anyway. So, in the immortal words of Samuel L. Jackson, hold on to your butts because I am about to culturally enrich the living hell out of you. Let's start with this story, which is all over social media. I think even on mainstream media as well. You might have heard of this. Teenage asylum seeker raped 15-year-old schoolgirl in park after she filmed herself being dragged away in footage so horrifying it would cause a riot. So let me show you this Daily Mail article, okay? Afghan migrants, they came here on a boat. It would cause a riot. That's one of the boys' own lawyers said it. That's them. Supposedly they're 17 years old. I don't think so. They usually purposefully lie that they are 17. It somehow helps them with their asylum case because they're treated as children. They purposefully lie. Okay, so this is the moment. Two teenage Afghan asylum seekers dragged a screaming schoolgirl towards a dark park where they would rape her. Small boat migrants, Jan Jahanzeb and Israr Niazul, both supposedly 17, I don't think they're 17, were on Monday jailed for sexually assaulting the 15-year-old in Leamington Spa, Warwickshire, on May the 10th. They were both named following a legal victory by the Daily Mail. So our compassionate, humane laws were not even going to name them. Chilling CCTV released in the wake of their sentencing showed the boys leading their victim across a bridge to a park where they forced her to perform oral sex on them. In the 20-second video, the asylum seekers are seen standing menacingly on either side of the girl at around 9:21 p.m. after luring her away from her friends. Friends. How did they let these guys take their friend away? We have to teach our children to be more vigilant. I think in the West, people have made racism the biggest sin, the biggest crime in the world. Bigger than rape, murder, burglary, all kinds of violent attacks. Oh, I could be a murderer and a rapist, but please don't call me a racist. When you see someone who doesn't have, and these are not my words, okay? These are not my words. Listen to this woke judge. I've played this video before. Listen to this woke judge. We cannot expect an African to know that you cannot rape a person on the beach in Italy because he probably doesn't even know. He really doesn't know. And you know why this judge is saying that? Because after almost every single one of these events, after almost every single one of them, the defense of the perpetrators always say that, oh, look, sorry, they are from a culture where they didn't know. And in the past, judges have even accepted this as a reason. A Muslim man who raped a 13-year-old girl in the UK was allowed to walk free because he didn't know that rape was illegal. And these two boys, their defense also used the same tactic, although it didn't get accepted this time. They also said that, oh, they're from Afghanistan, you know, they don't know that it's not okay to rape a girl. So we need to teach our kids that, hey, this is not your average John from your school, okay? If you know that someone is completely feral from a barbaric culture, be more vigilant, be more careful. Do not worry about being labeled as racist. You should rather be alive than be labeled racist. Don't worry about these labels. And this is the reason why less and less people care about this label racist. People don't care about it anymore because, as I said, either be called racist or stay alive. I know which position I am taking. The harrowing 3-minute clip showed the girl saying that, "Are you going to rape me?" as she was forced away from the area where she had been happily socializing. The phone clip, which was played at Warwick Crown Court today, also caught the girl weeping, repeatedly crying help and begging not to be taken into the park. I don't know what happened. How did the friends allow this? Okay, I'm not going to go into the gory details of it. So this is another clip. Some clips I might have to blur because of the YouTube's policies. You can head to my members or Patreon section where you can watch uncensored videos. but I'll still try to play as many as I can. This is the footage, okay? I think it's the same footage, sorry. So the girl is in the middle and she's being dragged. She's obviously filming this incident. So they both have gotten 10 and 9 years. They both crossed the channel as unaccompanied minors attacked the youngster in Leamington Spa. The 17-year-olds were living in taxpayer-funded supported accommodation in the Warwickshire town at the time of the horror. The victim managed to record the start and aftermath of the genuinely horrific attack on a mobile phone after being separated from her friends. Her attackers both admitted a single charge of rape of a child under 16 when they appeared before magistrates in Coventry in October. We actually didn't hear about this incident. I keep a track of all of these attacks, but even I didn't see it. Nobody saw it. All these videos that I'm actually about to show you, all these incidents that I'm about to show you, we stumble onto them accidentally. We don't know how much of this is happening. So Nigel Farage has commented on that. Let me quickly play you Nigel Farage's video.
But if you as a country allow young men who come from countries in which women aren't even classed as second-class citizens.
There you go. They themselves are claiming this in their defense. There are cultural differences. He's not used to a society where women are free and deemed equal to men. They themselves are saying that to you as defense. So why is the woke brigade letting them in? This is an admission from the horse's own mouth. They're telling you that, hey, look, we don't view women like you do. If we see women walking around, then we see them as fair game. It's from their own mouths. It's not ex-Muslims telling you, although we have been telling you for many years, but now they're saying it themselves. How many times? That first story that I showed you where that judge let them go, that happened something like 10 years ago, and the stupid judge actually accepted it.
And you put them up in 4-star hotels, allow them to work illegally. Their attitude towards women is completely different to ours.
Yeah.
So the social effects of this are appalling as well. And
It's not racist. Wake up. And what have I been telling you for many months now? That this woke Labour government, they are going to throw the refugees, the Muslims, the Islamists, everyone under the bus because they care about power more than their own principles. Look at this. A Labour minister has said something which, or the wokes, like these are one few remaining wokes like Owen Jones. He's like, we must, he's quoting the Labour minister and he's saying, what the F? Now let's play this clip from this Labour minister.
But it's also very important. And what we won't do is turn away from this. And it's about ensuring that if there is a link between ethnicity, between race, between culture, that we identify that so that we can deal with it, whether it's because one of the reasons that the perpetrators are committing this crime or one of the reasons that some have turned away from it. We need to get to the bottom of it, and I'm confident we will.
So they're saying if there is a link between culture and these crimes, then yeah, we're going to explore that option. Ooh, well done. And this is not the Tories, this is not Reform, it's Labour that's talking about it. So now we're only left with far left wokes, like the Greens and maybe your party, who would never come to this. And we don't care about them. I don't think they are an ever-shrinking minority. I can confidently tell you that the right wing is expanding, is blowing up, purely because of common sense. That girl, she's not right wing, left wing. These people are pushing towards the right. And the longer it takes for the right wing to take control, the more likely it is for people to be pushed further to the right. Okay, so as if this story wasn't big enough, another news story came out, this time from Manchester, I believe. Another Afghan national, Sultani Bakatash, 28 years old, has been charged with raping not one, but two 14-year-old girls in a flat in Bolton at the weekend, Greater Manchester Police said. Isn't that fascinating? This is an epidemic of biblical proportions, all self-induced. Nobody told you to do this. Okay? The British public did not say that, hey, let's fill our tiny island with people from hostile, barbaric, primitive, horrific, horny cultures. Nobody said that. But they said, okay, let's do it. Because we are humane. We've been lecturing the world about human rights and compassion and free speech. So We're going to lead by example. We're going to bring them in and we're going to put them in 4-star hotels while our own homeless people die on the streets. Okay, this post is very important. Let me read this. As a former police officer, this is what I genuinely think. We are witnessing the complete breakdown of law and order in the UK. I wonder why that is. Violence on the streets is going to become as common, not going to become, it already has. It is so scary to be even a man in the streets of London. I've been through some parts of London. I can tell you as a man, I was scared that, okay, if somebody recognizes me, that this is an ex-Muslim, he talks crap about us, so, take him out. Anyway, commonplaces. Shoplifting has, sexual assaults on women by foreign invaders, the new normal, stabbings in broad daylight are now not out of the ordinary. We are living through the beginnings of societal collapse, and either immigrants or descendants of immigrants, although obviously not solely responsible, are clearly and obviously massively overrepresented in the crimes we see playing out daily. Racists, they call us for noticing. Enablers, I call them for trying to shut those of us up who cry out enough is enough and are desperate for immediate and radical change. It could be your daughter next. Yeah, this girl, this poor girl, 15 years old, scarred for life. She will never be normal again. I hope she does. I really hope she does. Who's responsible for this? I have a daughter. I can't even imagine anything happen of this sort. Cannot even imagine. What about those parents? You know what? I'm actually surprised. I am actually surprised that how come we haven't seen more fathers take matter into their own hands. I'm actually surprised. What happened in the rape gangs, it's been going on for 20 years. I know there's a movie coming out. Apparently, there was a father who did try to take matters into his own hands. He was arrested and imprisoned as well, I believe. This is horrific. I don't have words to describe. How can a father live through it to witness something like this? I know some women might say, what's that got to do with father? What about her? I get it. But, I'm a man. So in order for me to empathize, I have to put myself in their shoes. And okay, so 2 stories, yeah? That's it, Harris? Okay, 2 stories in the last 7 days. That's not that big a deal. Hold on to your butts. This is illegal dinghy migrant from Iraq, Houri Mohammed. He assaulted a 20-year-old girl on a train in September, just got sentenced now. He's due out of prison in 2 months, and guess what? It is being reported that he's free to continue his asylum claim. He can carry on. Oh, by the way, the lawyers of those 2 Afghan men who raped that 15-year-old girl, sorry, he said that please do not deport him so when he comes out of prison, he can live his life in the UK. Who are these lawyers? I can't really blame them because somebody's got to do this, but fine, his defense can say anything they want, but they may not be deported. The system that we have in place right now, they may not be deported. Although I do think that the tide is turning, so we're going to see a lot of things happen very soon. We're going to see mass deportations. By the way, Pakistan is blackmailing the UK government. They have offered them to take the grooming gang criminals if the UK government returns 2 Pakistani dissidents to them. So that's what they're negotiating at the moment. One of the dissidents is pro-Imran Khan, and he's been attacking the Pakistani establishment. He has caused a lot of unrest in Pakistan, but we know if he's deported to Pakistan, which is against British values, he will definitely be tortured, maybe even killed. Okay? So the UK government and Shabana Mahmood, who is of Pakistani heritage, is going through the dilemma. What to do? Should we release that dissident so we can deport all these rape gang perpetrators or not? I don't know. So I think only time will tell. Migrant who assaulted student on train can continue his asylum claim. A dinghy migrant who followed a college student onto a train and sexually assaulted her can continue his application for asylum when he's released from jail in 2 months. Iraqi Houri Mohammed, 27 years old, attacked the 20-year-old at Crawley railway station in West Sussex on 22nd of September this year. Okay, so only 3 months ago. And he'll be out in 2 months. Mohammed, who entered the country on a dinghy in June, was caught on CCTV talking to his victim at the station, giving her the thumbs after forcing his way through. Giving her the thumbs, I don't know what that means. Okay, Harris, that's it? No. Wait. I'll keep going. 3 men jailed for the gang rape of a 17-year-old leaving certificate student involving degradation of the most extreme nature. Okay. Oh my goodness. Have launched appeals to have their sentences reduced, arguing that the prison terms imposed were excessive. And guess what? They might even get that. By the way, this is in Ireland. Okay. They've also opened Ireland for all these third worlders. Sorry. Okay, one more. Detectives are investigating a sexual assault on a woman in Bradford. They have released an image of a man they are keen to identify. Look at this. Looks like a white British man, doesn't he? So far, we've covered Afghans and Syrians and Iraqis. Well, there's one more. This is Mohammed again. Regardless, he's a Mohammed. Wajdu Koko, a boat migrant from Tanzania. He raped an elderly white woman in Tamworth, Staffordshire, near his taxpayer-funded hotel. Oh, so he was a hotel resident. He was jailed for 9 years and 9 months, costing us £500,000. No deportation for him. That story came out yesterday. So it's also our mothers, our elderly women and grandmothers who are not safe. Now, I'm going to play you a video. If this video gets blurred due to YouTube's policies, then you can head over to my member section or become a patron. Or I will include the links in the description so you can just watch the videos yourself. Okay, look at this. So this woman gets attacked by this Afghan man. You be the judge.
You just fucking grabbed my arse, you weirdo! He just grabbed my arse! He just grabbed my arse!
Good one.
Thank you! Go get my food! Go get food!
Call the police, guys. Okay, so this is him. Another Afghan. This is that girl.
Down there, but it's a step. And he's sitting here, I'm about standing right here, and my friend Joe is standing right here. This guy, he walks past me and he fully grabs my ass, yeah? And then he turns me.
He's got saying sexual to a female. And punched me in the face and punched my friend in the face while we were trying to entertain him. Okay, no problem. Just give us 1 second. Okay.
I'm fine, I'm just so confused. I'm like standing there and I just get my ass grabbed.
Transfer over here, is that right? Or over that way, actually. Kiki, you're alright, yeah?
Yeah, I'm fine, I'm just so lost.
I know it's a lot.
This is what I say. You are one assault or rape away from becoming a far-right bigot, okay? Some of these woke women or woke people are so stupid and idiotic that they are literally waiting for an incident like that to occur to them. Look how many videos I've played. I'm not done yet, by the way, okay? I'm not done yet. That was just the UK and Ireland, yeah? Look at what's happening in Belgium. 2 friends are knocked out and kicked in the back while the perpetrators film it themselves. Always the same profile, always the same cowardly attacks. If this video gets blurred, then you can watch the video in the members and patron section, or I'll include the link in the description box. The white boy getting... I think that's enough. Let me show you more. This happened in Belgium again. A Flemish girl is viciously attacked in Westmall, Belgium, close to Antwerp. Belgian news outlet Nieuwswaarina wrote, brutal attack on girl by immigrants, okay? I don't know whether that's a left-wing news outlet or a right-wing news outlet. It does sound like a mainstream news outlet. And they are also being forced to say it as it is. Brutal attack on girl by immigrants, okay?
What you? Hey! What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Why you? Hey!
You saw it. I'll include the link in the description box. And it's not only just violent attacks, okay? It's not just violent attacks, sexual attacks. It's not just that. They are culturally attacking as well. Look at this.
Germany left horrified after vandals destroyed a living nativity, tortured 2 donkeys before defecating in the church and fleeing the small town of Urbach, south of Frankfurt. Donkeys Lily and Max, part of the popular living nativity at the Christmas market, were beaten and tortured in their enclosure at around 4 a.m. on the 30th of November. One resident watching the chaos from his balcony told German news they witnessed one of the culprits punch the donkey in the face. He said the same group had destroyed electrical boxes, Christmas lights and decorations around the town.
Germany was famous for its Christmas markets. Haven't they culturally enriched you? They can't even do that anymore. Are you culturally enriched? Do you understand that some cultures are not compatible with your culture? How much more evidence do you need? What more do you need to happen? At this point, if you haven't changed your mind, you are literally waiting to be either stabbed or raped by someone to change your opinion. I did say that I do have some stats. Let me share some stats with you. Germany's Federal Criminal Police just released nationwide crime statistics by nationality for the first time. Syrians, Afghans, Iraqis now 40% of all crime in Germany. They account for 40% of all crime in Germany. These are your refugees fleeing their war-torn countries, coming here in literally paradise. I don't know if you guys have ever been to a third world country. I was born and raised in Pakistan. I can guarantee you, the first time when people come to these Western countries, well, they're ruined now, but back in the day, when I first came to Australia, I was like this, huh? This is so clean. I can't even see a single dust particle floating around. It's so clean. I felt like everything is washed. Like the buildings are washed. Everything is clean. It was literally paradise. I still remember when I first came. It was like, I remember when I saw those tall skyscrapers for the first time in my life. I was 19. I was like, wow, this is literally paradise. So these people, they come from their hellholes and they come to these beautiful, literally paradise on earth, and they do this. They account for 40% of all crime in Germany. The results aren't a rounding error. They are a category 5 reality check. The baseline, 163 violent crime suspects per 100,000 German citizens. Syrians, out of 100,000 German citizens, 1,740. That's 10.7 times higher than a German citizen. Afghans, same story. Non-German suspects now account for over 40% of all cases. Iraqi men are 10 times, okay? Rape and sexual assault cases involving Syrians jumped 60% since 2020. Interior Minister Alexander Dobrindt responds, tougher measures. So even they are saying, oh, okay, these are the centrist parties, okay? Even they're saying, oh, we need to do something about it because they kept ignoring this. People have been talking about this disproportionality for many years now, but all governments have been hiding these statistics. Look what they're doing with the grooming gang scandal in Britain. They hid it. I think Shabana Mahmood just yesterday announced that, okay, we have allocated £65 million and they have 3 years to prepare a report. 3 years. I could do it in 6 months. But, you know, a lot of Labour councillors, local politicians, they were involved in it. They played a role in it. So it's not just a matter of, oh, you know, we don't want to look racist. I refuse to believe that. They're actually complicit. There are people complicit. I think Tommy Robinson said that the people who were junior level Labour politicians back in the day, they have now become more influential. They have climbed up the ladder. So they have become even more powerful. That's why they've been resisting an inquiry. So let me play you this video by Zia Youssef. He's going to describe this problem a lot more eloquently than I can.
The rape of British women has become a policy choice of the political class. Yesterday, we learned that 2 Afghan men who broke into the country illegally last year raped a 15-year-old girl. Today, we learned an Afghan man has been charged with raping 2 14-year-old schoolgirls. Yes, there is a pattern here. Government data shows Afghan nationals are 22 times more likely to be convicted of sex offences in this country than British nationals. Last year alone, 6,500 Afghans arrived on our beaches illegally, more than any other nationality. Does this mean all Afghans are rapists? Of course not. But it is demonstrably and empirically true that they are far more likely to commit rape in this country than British nationals. So, this is the policy choice. For years now, Tory and Labour politicians have chosen to leave our borders open, knowing that government data shows that Afghans are 22 times more likely to be convicted of sex offences, and they are the nationality most likely to break into our country illegally. Therefore, their actions are predictably and reliably causing the rape of British women. It's telling that the defence lawyer for the Afghan rapist pleaded with the judge not to release the identity of the rapist because he said doing so would risk social disorder. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? If you have to hide the truth from British people because the truth would risk them rioting, maybe you want to think long and hard about the obscene and treacherous policy choices that have got us to this point. And a special mention to the judge who took the Afghan rapist to task, not for brutalizing the poor victim, not for breaking into the country illegally, no. The judge scolded the Afghan rapist because he had betrayed other illegal migrants. He said, quote, You have betrayed the interests of those like you who come here fleeing harm and seeking safety. And for that, you should feel a deep and lasting sense of shame.
As if.
Just think about that. According to him, the shame the rapist should feel for raping a 15-year-old girl is for letting down other illegal migrants. That's a serving British judge. It's time to understand what time it is. The political establishment hates you, the British people, and will stop at nothing in undermining and demoralising you. As Prime Minister, Nigel Farage will secure our borders, stop the boats, and deport all those in this country illegally. So if you want to stop this madness, please get behind us and vote reform.
They have to be the best option at this point. There's actually a lot more. There are a lot more stories that I can cover. Just if we start from the 1st of December, I've got at least 4 more stories, but maybe I'll make a separate video at some other time. So seriously, are you culturally enriched? Do you think all cultures are equal? The empathy that you virtue signal all the right-wingers or the conservatives, maybe you need to have that empathy for all these victims. They actually double down. I just don't understand. So that Owen Jones guy that I showed you, he was saying, what the earth? How can this Labour minister say this? At that time, they actually doubled down. Maybe disappear for a couple of days. Maybe you don't talk about it for now because, you know, one of your own guys, the guys that you bat for, have done something heinous. No, they actually doubled down. They're like, no, yeah, it's a tragedy or whatever. But no, these guys are great. You know, we have to have compassion for these people. But I do genuinely believe that people like Owen Jones and their support base is rapidly shrinking. I think Friedrich Merz said it earlier last month, that this is our last chance to get our country in order. I think Keir Starmer said it this month. This is the last chance for centrist parties, whether Tories or Labour, to fix their countries. Otherwise, their countries are going to be held hostage by right-wing political parties. It's the AfD in Germany and Reform in the UK. I actually think Reform is not right-wing enough. I want Advance UK. But, you know, I think Reform would definitely be much better than the status quo political parties. You have a radical problem and you need radical solutions. So yeah, diversity is not your strength.